Hello, movers and shakers. Welcome to another episode of the Seven Figure Moving Academy. I am here again, right on my phone, videoing this. But I got a question for you guys. Are you afraid quality is going to suffer if you are not actually on the truck yourself? If you're not doing the moves yourself, are you afraid that your guys are going to fail and just damage stuff and diddly do off and all this good things that are going through your mind? Is that fear in your head? Well, if it's not, then you're abnormal, because every one of us has gone through it at some point in our time. But I'm going to tell you, there's a little secret to alleviate this problem that should not only improve quality, but standardize quality forever and ever and ever, as long as it's utilized. It's a great tool. Everybody knows about the tool. They just don't use the tool. Stay tuned. Hey guys, this is Jay Burnham with You Save Moving and Storage, and welcome to another episode of the Seven Figure Moving Academy. This video is being sponsored by MoversvilleConnect.com. If you have not gone to Moversville and checked it out, signed up for their free email newsletter, and actually perused the website, then you are missing out. This website is a plethora of resources and links to everything that you need to know and have as a mover. You want to get some insurance? You need to know who's some good insurance agencies? Moversville Connect has it. You need to know who does CRMs and moving company software? Moversville has it. If you just need to know about some general tools and equipment and resources that you could have, guess what? Moversville has it. They have everything you could think of, from SEO services and PPC campaigns and Facebook people who do websites, people that do your forms and everything that you could possibly think of. This is a complete one-stop shop for all the resources and needs that a mover has to have. So please, if you haven't done so already, go to Moversville Connect and sign up for their free email newsletter and check out what they have. Not only that, they have some great blogs, some great articles that are written by some of the industry bigwigs, some of their honchos, and then there's a couple done by me. So guys, feel free to go to connect.moversville.com. There will be a link down in the description. And if I did my job right, and you're not seeing this portion of the video, that means I did a whole little gamut. So you might see this blur thing. So if I got it and I figured out how to do the editing correctly, you would have seen that video. If not, this is my plug for Moversville, because this video is sponsored. So guys, let's get into the content now. So basically what I want to go over to you guys is how you can standardize and systemize and put in the processes that you need to get your moving company going in the right direction. It is something that will, if you decide you want to take this to the next level, it will help you do with the franchise. If you're looking to sell your moving business, this will help to actually not only increase the value, but actually really 3 to 5x the value of your company. And I get that from a friend of mine, Ben, who actually, that's what he does. He helps sells companies. And he says, if you got a company that is systemized and you've got a system in place and that system is being used, that you can actually 3x to 5x the value of the company's value when you go to sell it. Or like I said a little bit earlier, if you're going to try to franchise this company, guess what? You need to systemize. You got to have it down everything in writing so that it's standardized, so that it can be cookie cutter turnkey for the next franchisee. Or if you're just wanting to open a new shop, if you have your shop already systemized and figured out, this tool will just do that for you. It's like a business in a box, if you will. All right. And I'm going to tell you what that little thing is. It's called checklist. It's a tool called a checklist. Everything in your business should have a checklist. When a lead comes in, there should be a checklist of what that lead goes through. If your trucks need to be serviced, there should be a checklist of your truck maintenance. When you go out and do spot checks of the crew, there should be a checklist of what somebody's supposed to do on that spot check. The crew should have a checklist for when they come to the home and they start to do their moving system. Now, here's a good thing, guys. Here's the good thing. I've actually done a couple checklists for you. Just go to the file section of the 7-Figure Moving Academy group, and you'll find that there are some checklists already done for you. Feel free to use it as a template. It is editable. So if you want to change it or alter it or do something with it, you can do it. You can brand it in your company. However you want to use it, use it. Maybe there's some things that you don't do in your company. You can take those steps out. Maybe there are things that should be in there that aren't there, and you can put those in there. It's absolutely fine, but there are some. And as we go on, I will make a more checklists. Now, here's the good thing about this. This checklist that I have provided for you in the file section is absolutely 100% free of charge. However, down the road, when I create some more, they won't necessarily be free. They won't be expensive, but they're not going to be free. You guys, I come by this information hard fought. Not no one helped me really. I didn't have any mentors until the very last couple of years here of my moving business. And I come to the point where I was able to sell it. So guys, this is how you can do it. You want to make sure that your company is going smooth, it's going through, have a checklist. If you got a person that knows their job really, really well, and they decide they want to move on or move up, then have them write up their hat in a checklist form. Because especially if it's a successful employee that is moving on or moving up in the organization, have them write up their job in a checklist form. I mean, step 1, step 2, step 3. If this happens, here's a checklist, 1, 2, 3. If that happens, checklist, 1, 2, 3. And just have these checklists available. So when the next person steps into that position, you just hand them the checklist. That's right. You can go over some of the basics for them and go, okay, here's a checklist. So if this happens, go, here's your checklist, 1, 2, 3. So if you have checklists and you see where the problem areas or things are not being done, if your guys are not loading up the truck right, there should be a checklist of how the truck gets loaded. If there should be a checklist of how the paperwork gets done, in what order and how it's done. All right, have a checklist. That way, and make sure that the checklist is done. Now, you can have these checklists done electronically, which means you can have it done on a tablet or your phone, and they could just go and they could just tap the phone or the tablet or whatever, and it gets done. Or you could have it in paper form, and you just make sure. So at the end of every day, your driver, your movers, your laborers, your accountant, everybody just turns in their checklists, right? And if they don't turn in a checklist, then there should be a checklist for that. If you have a disciplinary problem, if you need to put in discipline, there should be a checklist of how that gets handled. Everything should be done by checklist. Every job, every hat, every department, every division should have checklists that they follow. And if you apply this simple tool, you're going to have a company that's just going to rock. And it's just going to blow your mind. And guess what? You go do a seminar with me or Louis Massaro or Eric Works or somebody out there, and you find that there's some other tools or certain other actions that you should be doing. Guess what? You can add them to your checklist, right? If you get in a CRM, see if there's a checklist for that. See what you can do. Make a checklist for about the CRM. Make sure that it's all done. If people need to time in and time out of their, clock in and clock out, have their checklist. Everything should be on a checklist, right? And the checklist is a living document. It's not a static document. It's not the Constitution where it stays put, right? It's an actual living document. So it's always changing. It's always evolving to something bigger and better. Some things are going to get rewritten. Some things will be more clearly defined. Some things will be eradicated because they're no longer needed or relevant, or something has changed. but it's always evolving, always changing. So make sure, like if you got a good mover who's decided he wants to go and start up his own company, or maybe he wants to travel the world for a couple years, have that mover write up a checklist of his hat before he leaves. Make it a standard plan. Have a checklist for a person's departure. For human resources. Human resources has a checklist. This is what gets done. They turn in this, they turn in that, they write up their hat, they blah, blah, blah. They leave their address so we can send them their check and all this good stuff. Whatever it is, have a checklist. This is a simple tool that goes unused in almost every single company. And not just moving companies, every company. And this is the problem. It's a very simple thing. Yes, it's going to take a little bit of work on your part. You might have to do some late nights, and it might take some thinking. You might have to, if you're on the truck, doing the truck, what is the steps that you do? What is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, A, B, C, D, E, F, G steps that you do? And then write those steps down. That way, when you turn over the job to somebody else, you don't have to worry if it's getting done, because you can see if they're following the checklist or not. And if they're false reporting the checklist, then you'll be able to figure that out too. And if something goes wrong, there's a checklist for when something goes wrong, because things are going to go wrong, right? Movers damage something. Okay, so here's the checklist for damage. Boom, 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 right? And it gets done. It just gets done. If your crew leader is having problem with one of the members, he does this checklist and he goes through this checklist, and that checklist gets turned in, right? And then you can see where the problems are, and you can see what's going on. And if checklists are used, you can actually see where the problem areas, where the stops are. And then guess what? You can fix them by altering, changing, or creating a checklist. Okay, guys, hopefully this was a good video for you. Hopefully you guys will apply it. Hopefully you'll see the value in what I'm telling you. This is hard-fought knowledge, guys. This is hard-fought won knowledge. And like I said, we do have some free checklists for you. All you have to do is go to the file section in the group membership. There will be a link to the group down in the description. So you can just go there, download that, and use it. Okay, guys? So thank you very much. Hopefully you like it. Also, don't forget to go and check out Moversville Connect. All right, do that. Do me a favor with that. Excellent, guys. I appreciate you. I love you. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you share this with all your family and friends. And don't forget me. Let me know what you're doing. Are you doing checklists? Did you even think about doing checklists? And if you don't know how to do a checklist, let me know. I'll write a checklist on how to do a checklist. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful and blessed day. I love you. Do some good in the world today, okay? Bye-bye.